we can kind of hear you, but we're gonna have to hear you because we're going live. Hey, everybody, this is Babetalk. We're executing this. It's going. Go time. Go time now.
Oh Jesus! I'm on
Yo.
Skype. What is this?
This should be fun.
Close. It's Google Plus. Hold on to your butts, everybody. We're starting the show. Today on Babetalk we have Matt on a weird night. It's Friday night. How's everybody doing? It is Matt from A Will Away.
Hey,
Everyone say hi to Matt.
Hi Matt, how you doing?
what's going on?
So,
Yeah, we have newcomer Craig, who just started writing for Babe Talk. It's gonna be very exciting. It's his first panelist episode.
What's
I
up?
got this James Dean looking motherfucker. James has been my right hand man for a little bit.
How long did it take you to get your hair like that?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Like 3 months of
Lot
like
of due
gel
diligence.
on, or
3 months of like trial and error. If you saw my hair before I like got it to this, you'll know what I'm talking about.
it was a little of a struggle. But hey, you know, when you white with short hair, life always just like smiles upon you.
Yeah, because like if people didn't know, I used to have a buzz cut before this, and then I was just like, hey, I'm gonna fuck up my entire life.
We'll always remember that there's someone out there that has a rat tail. My name's Ali, and we start
Like
the
my
show
coworker.
by like your coworker. I don't understand it. And like I haven't seen the back of Matt's head, but like I'm assuming that it's not like a rat tail, so I hope I'm not thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Alright, well, see, that's like a ponytail. That's
Yeah.
not like
It's not like a stupid man bun. I hate those. Those annoy
the
the.
man buns are interesting. I think
They're-
I'm more upset that I can't grow a man bun.
I can never pull it off ever. Like ever. I can't pull many things off, and that man bun. Man bun is one of those.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to ever do a man bun, it would just be like one big afro, and like it'd be kind of hard for me to like.
Yeah.
Either I look like a proud family character.
Oh my god. All
But
right.
so we start off the episodes by asking everybody how their day was, and today we're gonna start with our guest of honor, Matt.
My day was pretty good. I sat around and played Ultra Street Fighter 4 on my computer. That was fun. And then I ate some eggplant parm, and now I'm doing the Babe Talk thing, so it's not so bad.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Now, do you play all your games on PC? Like, are you a PC gamer?
A bit. I mean, I actually, you know what, I'm super into like old games too. So like, I have a Dreamcast that I really, really love, and I play the shit out of that. Got an old
Same.
Xbox and a PS2 and stuff, and for like modern games and stuff, I play on PC quite a bit. It's just better.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, like, the PCs, if you build your rig properly,
Yeah.
not like I have, but if you build them properly, they can be, like, some powerhouses.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
because I love the Dreamcast games, I must ask, what's in your Dreamcast library?
Oh man, God, do I gotta go grab it? Dude, I've got Jet Set Radio,
Oh, that was the best one.
Skies of
Oh,
Arcadia.
yeah, too.
I think I've got like NBA 2K2.
They
What
made that
else?
for Dreamcast. That's kind of cool.
Virtua
They
Tennis.
made Virtua
Virtua
Tennis. There was
Tennis.
oh man, and then there was and they had an NFL game for a while that wasn't put out by like EA or anyone.
Yeah,
Regular
I don't remember what it
publishers right
was,
now.
but they had a bunch of like Sega Sports Soccer and like
Sega
Sega
Sports, yeah.
Sports games.
Yeah.
And
If
I
you
got
guys-
Sonic.
Yes, Sonic.
Yeah,
If
Sonic
you guys
Adventure.
want to feel old, I was like 3 or 4 when the Dreamcast was a
Oh,
thing.
James, really? Did you have to do that?
Well, I mean, I'm 21, so I'm kind of there with James.
Yeah. I mean,
I-
Sega, man.
It was one of the best consoles that got overlooked because Sony was just like, oh, so you want to do something? Well, no, we're going to release a PS2, and then you just go totally fucked.
Yep.
I wish I had my PS2. Star Wars Battlefront, the best game. Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. You can't beat those.
Damn.
I cannot wait for that game to come out. It looks so good. It actually might. It's going to be that and Batman Arkham Knight will be the only reasons why I actually buy an Xbox One.
Yes.
Because
That
Battlefield
and Halo, the Halo, whatever the heck, the Halo trilogy thing. What is that? The Halo expansion thing? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
The
the
proper name.
Master Chief Collection. I think that's the Master Chief
Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah. That's
Which,
that's
I
one
mean,
of the
like-
reasons I want an Xbox.
Now that's going to be hard because it's literally going to be like, what, like 120 hours worth of gameplay that's gonna that's a hell of a lot of gameplay because I'm pretty sure it's all the Halos, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be
It's all 5.
Craig. Craig.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? How's your day?
Pretty good.
While we're talking with you.
Well, I went back to my hometown today. That's why my family was in the background. We're having my sister's graduation party tomorrow, so that's why I was a little crazy and hustle and bustling. Caterer came over. She brought some food, some chicken, pizza. It's really awesome. So.
Nice. Now, where are you from? I actually have yet to have a proper conversation with you.
I'm from the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio. So Cleveland, Ohio area. That's me. I'm in a suburb called North Olmsted. So. West Sider.
Nice. What?
There's West Side versus East Side.
West Side,
Yeah, West Side, East Side. Everyone involved in the Cleveland scene is on the East Side, so I can never find a ride to shows, and it's frustrating.
It's because you're in a bad neighborhood, or?
No, it's just more people live on the East Side than the West Side, so that's why.
Okay, that makes sense. How strong is your scene out there?
It's very strong. It's actually one of the most underrated scenes in the country. I really think it is. Because the bands are amazing, and we also have a really awesome booking company, Bravo Artists. They make shows like Spring Fling,
Shout out to Caitlin Drummond.
Shout out to Caitlin Drummond.
So,
she
yeah,
works
it's
for that.
fantastic. Shout out to Bravo Artists, too. You guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Have you played at Mahal's
wait,
in Cleveland? Matt?
Yeah.
Sweet, you like Mahal's?
Yeah, it's great.
I think that was a Bravo Artist show, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bravo. They also did. We just did a show. Where was that? Oh God.
Columbus?
No, yeah, Columbus. It was a Double Happiness.
Yeah, because
and
Bravo
they did
Artists
that
also
too.
has
It was
a thing in
great.
Columbus, so.
Yeah, it's great. They're awesome.
Sweet.
You guys are
Glad
hella
you had a
fresh
good
off
experience
tour,
with them.
What's up?
Oh, glad
I
you
said
had a
you
good
guys are like-
experience
Oh
with them.
yeah.
Same. James.
Hi.
Suppy.
Not much. Alright, so for my first half of the day, I was at work. I work a really shitty landscaping job and I hate it, but I only have 4 weeks left, so I can't quit.
I'm sorry.
And that was awful. But when I got home, me and my girl Becca Genius, who runs Terminally Trill, we are going to be booking a backyard show in my backyard in Long Island, New York. It's going to be in conjunction with Babetalk and Terminally Trill, and it's going to be really fun, and I'm really excited to get everything worked out.
Dude, that's awesome. Do you have a backyard perfect for it? Do you have a little deck or something to put the bands on?
We have there's a grass area and then there's a cement area, so it's just going to be kind of like a floor show. But
Okay.
I'm throwing another
Sick.
show. That'll be my first show next week, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
Which I'm still
sweet.
trying to make my way out there. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I'm still trying to just find my way
try.
to Long Island. I will.
Please.
Well, I won't leave you alone, baby. I got you. So, I ate big slices of pizza. My boss went to go find pizza, and it was I want to say literally no exaggeration, this big.
Jesus.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was interesting because she said, "Oh, we're gonna go out for pizza. Ollie, do you want pizza?" And I didn't bring because usually I keep I'm a weird kid. I keep I'm realizing that I'm not really cut out for an office job. There will be adults that will have papers and staplers and folders inside their desk drawers. I have ramen and candy in mine.
You're a college student.
That's
Holy
fantastic.
shit.
I'm still a college student. I get salary and I'm still
A college
I
student.
think I'm only allowed to buy ramen. I don't think I'm allowed to buy anything else.
There's other things besides ramen. You can do it. I have faith.
It's like making your own doctor's appointments. It's just I'll starve. It's okay.
Oh my god. Beautiful.
But, so yes, so that was the most highlight of the day. The upcoming stuff, if we want to do quick babe talk stuff, because that's what I've been doing for the past forever.
Yeah.
We have Pines is gonna be releasing a new album tomorrow. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna release that at a time o'clock. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 12.
Dude, that's awesome. Can't wait to hear it.
Nice.
We'll see. It's cool. We have clips up on the site right now. We
Awesome.
also have the compilation, which we're going to be dropping pre-order stuff for Solving the Puzzle. We will be giving out pre-order stuff, and I think album art will be dropping next week as well. And we're going to go back to our band announcements. All this is subject to change because, hey, what's going on, everybody?
Because professionally unprofessional.
Because professionally unprofessional. Guys, we're not a fucking website.
No, we're not.
Speaking of video games, I saw some gameplay of this, and it was very interesting, and I wanted to see how you guys had reacted to this whole phase in life, because this was actually like a full phase in life for me. Guitar Hero Live.
Yeah, I have my old Guitar Hero poster here somewhere.
I mean,
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't alone here. They're taking a whole new concept with Guitar Hero.
it's gonna be
And
awesome.
It looks interesting because they're doing it from a audience like a band member's perspective. They're like doing like a
Which
whole
is
new.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
dude,
Matt,
I was
have you heard
seeing
about
seeing
this?
the trailers for that or whatever. It looks so awesome. I just wish they could do our bands instead of like the stupid mainstream bands. You know?
No, Architects is on it. Fucking, they have
Architects?
Beartooth is on it.
Dude, from the stage on Beartooth, that'd be sick.
Stagechamps is on it. Apparently, from what I heard, Pierce the Veil is on it. They did get our bands.
Yeah. Pierce the Veil, I think
Rock-
was on
Rock Band is
The
the
Rock
one
Band
that's
store.
going with the Rock Band is having the mainstream bands, and Guitar Hero's having like the metalcore and pop punk bands.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank
like
God.
I think Paramore was Paramore was on I think one of the old Guitar Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Matt, have you ever played Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
Yeah, I got really, really into Guitar Hero when I was like, I want to say like 15. I like loved Guitar Hero, but like, I loved Rock Band too because they had the really nice drums. But then like, I don't know, at some point, tapping 5 buttons got really, really stale, and it was like everybody dropped the trend all at the same time. Like, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. That was
As-
actually very true. Everyone was just like, fuck it, we're just not gonna do
Yeah, it was
it.
crazy. Like,
For a
everybody's like,
little-
yeah, no,
for a
that
very
game's
tiny
not cool
bit.
anymore. But
As
it
Even
was
though
so
it still
fun.
is.
But it's so
It hurt my
fun.
soul when I traded it in. It still
Man.
hurts my soul.
As a musician, like, I think what turns me
yeah.
off of it is because, oh shit, I know how to play this actual instrument, and it's a lot easier than playing fucking Guitar Hero. So let me do this fucking.
I like them
Which is
both.
a little ironic when you think about it. That like an actual instrument's a little bit easier
I
to play
remember-
than like.
I was in my 9th grade Green Day cover band, and we had Rock Band Green Day, and we all fucking sucked at the Rock Band one. And it was at that moment that I was just like, this is fucking bullshit. I want out.
So
Yeah.
out of
That
spite,
sucks.
you made a band, James. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good job.
I mean, like, I used to be really heavy into Rock Band. I can't play any instruments, but then when, like, Guitar Hero came out, I was like, ooh, let me play this. And then Rock Band came out, and I, like, got way too into drums. I'm a 5-star expert, if anyone must know. And there is currently gameplay still uploaded on YouTube. If you look up the right
no.
stuff, you
Oh,
can still
no.
see me play out Dead on Arrival in the dark
Oh no.
with the fog machine,
Oh,
with
no.
the lights.
Oh no.
With my
I'm looking that
professional-
up right now. I'm
Oh,
looking
no.
it
You
up right
won't,
now.
you won't be able to find it. You won't. Be
I'm gonna find it.
Good luck. If you're able to find it, I'll screen share it right now and I'll share with it. But
any-
Okay.
Since we're on the topic of that, did anyone play DJ Hero? Because that game was my
go
shit in
get
my
me
freshman year.
if I may,
Really?
please. Go
Nope,
find me
never
the-
played
the
it.
turntable.
But it looked like it was pretty lame. I'm surprised it was good.
No, and I
What?
love.
Dude,
I-
DJ
I never
is the
played
shit.
it.
I'm
I
literally staring at my DJ Hero controller right now. It just.
I
kinda
feel like I said something offensive. It just didn't look.
Oh, God.
Such a fancy dust off it. If I may present to you the best year of my life,
Yeah.
the Renegade edition that came
Wait.
with the
Dude.
Eminem and Jay-Z
Yo,
edition.
I remember.
Gold
That's fucking
wow.
fantastic.
I'm coming out of black and white. That's how much I love this thing right here.
That is
Gold.
freaking
Nigga,
great.
look at that shit. That's
Beautiful.
gold.
That's
Thank you
beautiful.
very much, sir. I loved DJ Hero so much. and I don't know if anyone remembers, it actually came with like a carrying case and like a big ass stand. Like you can like set up like fucking like MCA and be like, yo, I'm so fucking cool.
Holy shit! Yeah.
It was hysterical, but virtual video games, man.
Much better.
And then it's like, oh guys, I would see, and I was actually imagining there'd be more of a stigma for the music video games because like people would be like, oh, why don't you just actually go out and do the real thing?
No, there
No,
were a
people
lot
love
of people that were like that too, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess
People
people
love
miss it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're just a good group of kids, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Hopefully.
I'm glad to see that. Oh, I picked my friends over you. So today, in other news, that's not really all that music related or any music related, but it's my podcast and I love Disney. Disney World celebrated its 60th anniversary today. 60th year anniversary.
Woo!
Thumbs up.
Hey.
Thumbs
It's
up.
awesome.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give like a quick what's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh man.
This
You're
is
putting
an
me on the spot
icebreaker
here.
that I ask bands sometimes, believe it or not.
Oh, we'll see. There we go. All right, Matt. Here we go. Your first question, and then we'll revisit this later. What is your
Man.
favorite Disney movie?
What is my favorite Disney movie? I think. Well, you know, it's different because, like, when I was a kid, my favorite Disney movie was Tarzan. I freaking love Tarzan. And then, like, now, though, I think, is. Oh, man. Is WALL-E a Disney movie? That's a Disney Pixar
Yes.
movie,
Yeah.
right?
Disney
Yeah, it's
Pixar.
definitely
Yes.
WALL-E then. It's
I
definitely.
haven't seen Wally. I need to watch that soon.
It's so
Very
What,
good
dude?
movie.
It's
So
so
good.
good.
Very, very
I'll
good.
go on Prime Wire.
What?
Dude, have you guys seen Inside Out?
I have not.
Wait. You just
What?
say LimeWire?
No, I said Prime Wire.
Oh, I thought you said
Like
lime.
PrimeWire.ag.
That's it. Now I'm just like, wait, whoa, what? Is LimeWire back and I missed the menu?
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay, sorry I scared you. No.
I mean,
I
wait,
mean-
James and Craig, do you guys remember LimeWire? You little.
I
I remember
Frost-
hearing about it when I was
Okay.
like in 5th grade. I remember hearing about it. But that's about it.
I had Frostwire. Does anyone know what that
That's
is?
like the same thing.
It was
yeah, it was just
basically
like the bro cousin.
yeah. I had Frostwire.
Well,
But-
those
Now, how old are you, Matt?
I had LimeWire for a while.
Okay.
I used to download like a ton of music, but like you ever notice that like when you're going on LimeWire, no matter what you search, it always comes back with porn.
Oh,
No
absolutely.
matter what you search,
Yeah.
does not matter what it is. Does not matter what it is, and almost everything had a virus in it.
It almost.
I feel like LimeWire was the best experience if you wanted your computer to experience what an STD was like.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, you'll get porn, and then you'll
Yeah,
get
let's just
a virus.
let's just make our computer fucked up. That's great.
Look, I don't know. I'm like old as shit, so I mean I'm young as shit, so like my
You also
only
like, James,
knowledge
were you
of
Yeah, 18 is so old.
yeah, I'm tired. It's been a long day, but like when I was younger, my dad would warn me about the dangers of downloading music on the internet and would like cite LimeWire as an example. And little did he know like about the life of crime that I would lead like 5 years later.
The life of crime.
Yep. And Ollie is having technical difficulties right now, so
He has
I believe-
2 ollies.
we were still talking about our favorite Disney movies from what I understand.
hmm
Craig, did you go yet or no?
No, I mean, well, I was just talking about if you guys saw Inside Out yet, but that's not my favorite.
Okay.
I would have to say it's a tie between A Bug's Life and Toy Story 2. You can't beat those 2 movies. A Bug's
Bug's
Life.
That's
come on.
actually very
I
true.
don't like A Bug's Life. I don't know.
Why?
What? Really?
I thought it was really boring.
What?
It's like-
Go watch it again. Watch it again.
I watched it
You-
literally 2 months ago in the doctor's office.
Well, that's why you thought it's boring. You're bored in a doctor's office.
Why was a Bug's Life on in a doctor's office?
Well, it was like the waiting room, and I was like waiting a long time or some shit, and they just had a Bug's Life playing
you're like
on like
16,
the TV.
so you still go to like pediatric care.
Yeah. My mom was at the eye doctor, and I was watching A Princess Bride. I got through the entire movie. That's how long her appointment was. I got through the beginning to the end of A Princess Bride. How long I had to wait for my mom. It was like, really? An
Damn.
hour and a half.
So I guess I should go with my favorite Disney movies
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say, yeah, if you don't like A Bug's Life, then what do you like?
Favorite.
James.
Okay. I really want to say Finding Nemo.
Nice. That's a solid
Come on,
movie,
it's
solid
such a
movie.
good movie.
I've
If
seen
you don't
that
like that
movie
movie, you're
so
not
many
human.
times, and I'm really excited for the sequel. That should be fun.
Finding Dory is the reason people live, literally. Just so they can see it, and after that they can do what they need to do. But watch Finding
Yeah.
Dory first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The Incredibles 2. I'm pretty sure
Is
that
it
that's
coming
giving me
out?
like. Oh yeah, it's.
I'm
it's
surprised
in
it
its, in
didn't-
its-
I thought that would come way sooner, given the fucking.
You
ending
would
of
have
that
thought,
movie.
like, with the Marvel merger, you would have thought that they would have actually put out Incredibles 2, because they're like, oh, we're making movies right now.
It's funny.
Superheroes. We have the Avenger, Captain America.
I owned the Incredibles video game from when I was younger, and it was like actually a nice sequel to the movie because it picked up
Yeah.
right where the movie ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, like-
I remember that.
I don't know if you guys ever played that. Most people probably didn't.
I haven't
because
played it,
was
but I
terrible.
remember going on to, like, yeah. Well, it's weird, like, all the old, like, straight to video game, not straight to video game, the games based off the movies were always, like, trash. They were just always just like, here's
Well,
a movie, just make a
not
game.
all of
So
them.
like, oh, okay.
Not all of them, though. Like, I mean, do you guys know of any like movies to get video games that weren't trash? Because I remember,
No,
dude, I remember
never-
playing this
Yeah,
Stuart Little
um,
video game for the PS1 when I was like 8 years old. That was bomb. I wish I could have that game back.
Damn.
The Toy Story series were amazing. If you ever played them for PS1, there was Toy Story that was just like fucking phenomenal, and then Toy Story 2 was also a very awesome video game to come out, and they were very good. I'm trying to think of another video game movie that did really well. Mac, I'm gonna ask the audience real quick. Do you remember any video game movies that were really good that we owned? Because I know I'm missing one. Legend of Korra, that was actually really good, even though it's based off a TV show.
I didn't even
That
know
was
that had
very
a
good.
video game.
I remember I watched a few episodes, but that's about it. I never actually got into the series or anything like that.
That was a pretty cool show. That was a pretty cool.
I watched.
It was pretty cool.
You see, I watched Avatar, but I never watched Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra, you know what? It's a pretty series. Season 3 of Avatar was just fucking just like bah, like all this shit was happening, and Legend of Korra was good. It's a good complimentary series, but then like the last season that they had is so to watch for. Like it's very weird. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network have been doing very well with their cartoons as of lately, and it's pretty tight.
But it's not the same as 90s though. I miss the 90s so much.
Oh, I mean, we all miss the '90s because, like, goddamn, we had like everything. We had everything.
Yep.
We had great cartoons. We had black people on TV, and they weren't scary. And then like we had Boy Meets World, which just like made up for 90% of television. Like everything in the '90s was good. And then all of a sudden we're just like, oh shit, we can't animate and we don't like niggas. And
Damn.
Where did that come from though? Like
Well,
Black's
like,
on TV.
because you know what? If anyone wants to think back, we had Sister, we had Smart Guy, like we had Family Matters, we had
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Like black people were just beautiful.
Even the
black people,
cartoons, they had some cartoons. Wasn't there that one
Friend?
with the family on
Moody?
Disney
Proud
Channel?
Family. Yeah, the Proud Family.
Yeah, Proud Family. I remember
Proud
watching
Family.
that.
And even the Proud Family threw a little ghetto in there, and people were like, "This is okay. Like this is still safe." like it wasn't like.
No
And
way.
now we have like just straight BET. We have Empire. Empire's doing it right. Why are we talking about black shit? I love Disney movies.
Disney
Oliver and
movies to
Company-
black people.
Disney movies to black people. Oliver and Company is my favorite. Not
Aw.
biased, but I think
Aw.
that soundtrack is absolutely amazing. Billy Joel did the soundtrack to that, and it was pretty cool. It's based in New York. It was a play on Oliver Twist, which was pretty awesome. And The Incredibles is also another one of my favorites. So them's I love. Moving on. Oh, did you have something else to say, Craig?
No, I was just saying. Wait, wasn't that the same guy who did it for Tarzan as well? The
No,
guy
that
who
was
made
Phil
the
Collins.
soundtrack.
Phil
Okay.
Collins.
Anyone asks me any Disney trivia, I'll answer right now. I have this ridiculous knowledge bank of Disney movies.
It's awesome.
I'm actually gonna tell the panelists to come up with Disney questions just to fire at me, and I'll make a fool out of them. So, in music news, because I was just going through seeing what's coming out. Apparently, the Gorillas are making a comeback.
Cool.
Huh.
Okay, I could dig it.
12-year-old me is really stoked on this.
Yeah, I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
You feeling glad?
Feeling good.
You got
Feel
sunshine in the can.
Yeah.
Bum.
I'm just like.
And also,
Oh.
what are you like, James?
I was
yeah.
like breathing for a second. Chill.
You
Yeah,
were
I don't know.
breathing.
I don't know.
Do you need a moment to breathe? I'll give you a breathing break every once in a while. Just let me know.
Just.
Just holla. Just holla.
It's been a long day.
I get
I'm
it.
sorry.
I get it. I only had like 4 hours of sleep last night too, so
Man, I'm the only one that got slept pretty well.
like
I have
adequate
to
sleep.
get up at 6 for my job, so.
So Matt, you got adequate sleep?
Yeah, definitely,
Awesome. Good.
definitely. I slept like a rock.
Gotta have our band members well rested in this genre, right? You know.
Yeah, we try. We do what we can.
Can't have no sleepy eyes.
Unless they're real friends.
Oh, jeez.
No. Even if they're real friends, they shouldn't have any eyes. Just take out
All
Any
right,
eyes?
so,
Any eyes? No
Gorillas.
eyes.
So let's talk
So
about the
Gorillas are coming out with new music, and Brandon. Oh God, I can't remember his last name, but it starts with a U.
Yuri.
Yuri.
Brandon.
Thank you. I was gonna say Yuri, and it wasn't right.
Jimmy Urine.
Of Panic at the Disco said that he was gonna put out. Well, the band's gonna put out music. It's gonna sound like a fever you can't sweat out. So it seems like 2004. All of us are pretty stoked on all the music.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm really
Oh,
hyped
that
on the
was a
Panic.
great tackle. My cat just literally just jumped out from behind a cabinet and just killed my cat. It was pretty fantastic. I'm just watching this. Okay, yeah, they're done. I'm sorry. I had to comment there. Okay.
God bless all of us. So we have what James, you got like a very hesitant when we said that the music's gonna be coming back and we're all getting stoked. What would you want to see from that era that would have you get a little more stoked?
The one thing I wanted to see already got announced. Armor for Sleep announced like a comeback kind of. That I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about Panic at the Disco. My Chemical Romance needs to get back together.
Fall Out Boy needs to put out some music that sounds like their old stuff already.
I like
Come
the new
on.
stuff
Wait,
though.
I thought they broke up.
Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy is actually currently broken up, and then they're gonna work on their shit.
No,
I
they're
just hate
not.
that stuff.
They just created 2 new albums, dude. Where have you been?
I get it.
Ollie,
Sorry.
stop.
I get it. I
Ollie,
see what you did there.
God damn it.
But James, you said that you like their new stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, I like the new album. It's catchy.
I mean, it's
not,
good. It's just
It's good pop music though, and like.
Yeah.
it's not Fall Out Boy.
I mean, it may not be Fall Out Boy, but look how many bands in the scene try to be Fall Out Boy anyway.
True.
Well,
Yeah,
which bands try to be Fall Out Boy?
Pop punk genre.
Just
thought they
every
were
single
trying-
one of them.
I thought they were trying to be like Sum 41, Blink-182, Newfound Glory. You know, what about that?
Ooh, shots! Pop punk shots! Damn!
Pop punk sucks
Damn.
anyway.
Coral, watch out.
Oh god. No, I'm kidding, but like, oh god.
But so Matt, what would you want to come back if or have a sound that sounded like their old stuff?
Oh man, I'm probably gonna say the Format. That band was really sick, and I don't like Fun, man. I'm sorry, it just doesn't do it for me. Like I don't know. So like, it's just like all of the good parts of Fun can be found in the Format, but none of the good parts of the Format can be found in Fun. So it's sort of like, yeah. So I would like to see that happen.
That's fair.
Damn. So, how long was
absolutely,
Format a band until Fun became a thing?
I'm pretty sure they were banned for like forever.
They were banned for like a long time.
And they became
I don't-
Fun
I
and had their songs.
don't know when they made the transition. Probably 2008, 2008.
Like,
Damn.
damn.
Probably when that record contract. was
I would
from.
like to see Jack's Mannequin make a comeback. That's another one that I just randomly thought of.
That's cool. I can easily
Yeah.
see that.
Do you
Yeah,
think
see,
Alisana has a chance of coming back at all?
No. They're
Never?
dead. No.
Even with their new album? Even with their new album?
My friend saw them play in New York City a few months ago, and there was like only 50 people there. This was like on their album release tour.
Bummer.
Shoot. Dang. Guess
That's-
not many people remember that they like them at a point. I remember.
Well, see, it's weird when you have bands that like like Panic at the Disco. I really kind of strayed away from for a long time, especially when Pretty Odd came out. I was just so confused. I'm like, who, what? Like it was just so, and like I can understand artists wanting to stretch their artistic wings and wanting to progress on to something new. But like if we take a band like Weezer and we were to compare Pinkerton to Red
Yeah.
or Make Believe, no, you're not allowed to have an opinion about this.
Red was a pretty good album.
Red was solid, but like it was still not a Pinkerton, which is my emo calling card, something along
Yeah.
the lines of that. But so I think it's gonna be cool. The only real beef that I have with Fall Out Boy was also that Pan and X Days. Did anyone listen to that? They're
What?
I mean, it's just like all 2-minute demos of stuff. And it was actually really good. I wish all those demos could be songs, instead of demos. Or did I not get the album?
Like, I heard iTunes previews of it, and it sounded like a good punk album from the 70s. I feel like Ham X Days was just some... I remember reading the description, and they were like, oh yeah, we just did this on a whim. We don't really, like, connect with it. We're never going to play it live. It was just, like, something they did on a whim. Like, I can respect that.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I-
But also,
yeah.
how does it motivate people to listen to it?
They have their diehards.
True.
That's also very true as well. Yeah, because that was at the peak of when, because they were just like right where they were rising their heads like above the fence. We were just like, hey guys, can we come back? And then we were like,
Yeah. This was, like, a few months after Save Rock and Roll dropped, and they were, like, touring with Paramore and shit. So,
that was a pretty solid tour too.
There you go.
Now, Matt, did you take a listen to Pax AM Days?
I didn't, although I can comment on just like generally respecting bands for doing something on a whim. I don't know if respect is necessarily the right word, but like you can humor it, you know what I mean? Like bands do shit like that all the time, dude. Like you create so much music productively that like at a certain point you have to acknowledge like 78% of what you're doing is just absolute bullshit and just be like, hey, someone listen to my bullshit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can kind of get behind that. I can humor that a little bit. So I'm gonna dig into that.
All right, okay. I can understand that, and I actually get behind that because
Yeah.
you're still making content at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And that's really like, I mean, that's kind of your job at that point. You know what I mean? It's just to create even when it sucks. And it's just like sometimes I think it's kind of funny to like throw people the bone of giving them what you made this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
It's
kind of cool.
funny, and what's actually more funny is that when you see bands just totally shun, like, let's say the Wonder Years. It's like, hey guys, let's play Get Stoked on it, and they're just like, nah, fuck all y'all. And they're just
Yeah.
like, but you made it, so you have to play it. And they're like, yeah, watch us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the irony in that is very interesting. Because
Yeah,
I would
for
love,
sure.
oh my god, like I am definitely one of those kids that are just like, the Wonder Years, please always play. Get
I've
Stoked.
heard rumors, but I'm pretty sure they're bullshit, so.
Rumors about what?
A 10-year.
Yeah, well, drop a.
That would be
Get
awesome,
Stoked on
though.
it.
But, like,
James, that already happened.
Ollie, don't play with my heart.
God dang,
no,
man.
James, that already happened. The 10-year tour for the Wonder Years weekend. They played.
Ollie,
They played. They played these sides on one night. They played.
Ollie.
James,
stop
this
it.
was while me and Autumn were
Ollie.
dating. How did you miss this?
Stop it. Stop it. Ollie. Ollie.
Oh, James, baby, here. We need.
I hate you so much, Ollie.
I
You're
grabbed
so-
Mike, and this is not bullshit. This is actually confirmed on film that I caught Mike for gonna get fruit punched home.
Holy shit.
Dude, that's awesome. I wish
Which
I
is, like,
could
the most
see that.
public thing I could ever have. Oh, you will. It will be on the DVD. Like that's not even like a lie.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Wait, James, we're gonna have a conversation. I want to segue into something. However, I thought that this was gonna take more time, but
Nice.
I'm out of subjects, so we're gonna improv this. Subjects come to mind.
Should we talk about A Will Away and their cool music? Or do
I-
you
We
want to talk
absolutely
about more?
could.
Yeah, we
Well, I
could.
mean, we're pretty early for an interview, but we can absolutely jump into an interview because I love just picking bands' minds about everything.
Cool.
Unless anyone else has anything that's just pressing on their mind and they want to. Does anyone want to go on a rant?
Armor for
Anything
Sleep.
pressing in
Yes.
the DPVG?
Is
I'm
there
just
No.
seeing what's trending.
feeling
I don't know,
Tumblr
nothing,
tonight?
like, this was like a slow week. The only, like, main notable thing in my eyes that happened this week was Armor for Sleep.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
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 Which I missed
Um,
that boat on.
Yeah, it's mainly just Warped
Shame.
Tour posts and stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I saw someone surprised that Riff Raff was a dick.
He was nice to me.
That's what I'm.
I hope he's nice to me. I'm going to Warp this Thursday.
He was
I'm so
high as
pumped.
hell, but he was nice.
I'm so pumped. I
He
can't wait
shook
to
my
go.
hand.
He stroked your hand. You got the
Solid.
Versace.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
You got the neon icon's hand. Oh my god,
yeah.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
dudes!
All I
This
wanna
is a
do
brand new
is, like,
iPhone. I never had an iPhone in my life, right? First year where I can actually do selfies with band
Nice.
members. I'm pumped.
Just
First time
don't
selfies
crowd
are a
surf
thing.
and do it. If you
See-
crowd surf and do it, I'll find you and I'll break your phone.
Okay. But I can't really crowd
How's
surf
that-
anyway. I'm kind of like James, where like James, do you really crowd surf that much?
I've only crowd surfed twice in my life, and they were both last week.
Dude, that's awesome.
Sick.
Greg,
I'm,
what,
people-
what were you insinuating there?
Well, I mean, I was okay.
damn, harsh.
Yeah, what is it?
I get it.
Kind
I
of
get
good
it.
not
I get
being
it.
a crowd surfer.
We're, you know, we're
Holy
not
shit.
small people. You know,
I get it. I see how it is.
Wow.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, like, dude, I crowd surfed twice in my life.
Break.
I'm glad I
break your
was-
stigma.
this is
I'm
nice.
crowd surfing.
Okay,
I'm
but I
looking
crowd
for it.
surfed twice in my life, right? First time was at a Mayday parade show. I don't know how I did this, but I went so fucking far, all the way across the venue. All these girls were lifting my ass up. I made it. And then Chiodos, I do that at Chiodos, and everyone's complaining. I'm like, fuck you guys. Mayday parade people were better than you. Chiodos couldn't lift my ass up. They almost dropped me. So it's like, I don't get it. That's why I don't
You know
crowd
what?
surf anymore.
Damn.
My surf's not any better. My first crowd surf was to The Taste of Ink.
Dude, that's sick. I
Yeah.
might actually crowd surf for August Burns Red, though. I'm thinking about it. Because I'm pretty sure there'll actually be some pretty strong people in August Burns Red. So I can actually crowd
Don't
surf
even
and
think
make it
about it.
safely.
Just do it. Just hoist up on someone's shoulders. Just start walking. Just start head walking on kids.
That'd be a
Dude,
great
Matt,
post
do
for the
you- do you
DPPG.
There you go. Do you partake in these punk fuckeries by crowd surfing and jumping on people and throwing elbows?
Punk fuckery. I enjoy a good crowd surf. Not much of a stage diver. Used to mosh a little bit, but then actually this happened at a Chiodos show. I saw some dude. He was probably like 160 pounds crowd surfing directly after a stage dive, and the dude gets dropped on his head. And he stands up, and there's like a chunk of his fucking head missing, and blood squirting out, and like,
Holy.
walked him to the ambulance and shit, and yeah, no,
He,
I don't.
he walked himself over to the ambulance. Like,
Yeah, Yeah, he was
Come on,
okay.
guys.
Enough.
Jeez.
Again,
Alright.
you know, crowd surfing. That's why I'm only trying for August Burns Red, because I feel like I'll be okay. You know.
No, I mean, yeah, we're 2 for 2 on examples of don't crowd surf at a Chiodo show.
Or don't crowd
Trust
surf.
that Chiodo.
Don't crowd surf at a Kyoto show. I mean, I still made it. I made it, so I'm like, fuck you all. I made it. So stop
I mean,
complaining.
I'm pretty sure that
You know.
guy made it too. I hope. I mean,
Yeah.
He made it, but he also walked his way over to an ambulance.
Yeah.
How do you explain that? Like you just walk over to the EMTs. They're probably just like with their earbuds, they're like the earplugs in. They're probably like reading on their Kindle, and they're just like, I'm missing my head. Like,
Yeah, part of my head fell off. Can we go to the hospital now? Get this
you
stitched
guys
up.
any glue?
have any clue? There you go.
Yeah. Good to
Straight
go.
punk rock, man. I remember when I went to go see, and this is actually why they banned. They had to put up a barricade over at Union Transfer. Union Transfer is a perfect venue. It was a nice, large stage, and you could just, there was no barrier, and it was absolute sex. However, there were kids that went over for a title fight when they just put out Floral Green. Oh! And Bouncing Composure when they put out their new album. Oh! But everyone...
I remember this tour.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful, and it was such a weird group of kids. There were like girls with little black dresses and heels that were like every 5 seconds, and I'm like, you're at title fight, and I'm pretty sure it was Balancing Composure and then title fight, and Balancing Composure went on, and
I think Cruel Hands was on that tour too.
they might have been, but I didn't know them.
Yeah,
back
Cruel
then,
Hand
so I
is
honestly
kind of
forget.
violent. I remember that at Spring
Yeah.
Fling. I got hit in the face like a few times, and I was just standing at the stage, just standing there. Got hit in the face like 3 times. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they like bands like that. Like they're hardcore. They can get a little rough, but for this particular, like everyone remembers Separation. Separation was a very heavy album, but then the new album came out, and I don't know what the what the album's called, but it got very, for a very genetic term, mellow. It got very like dream-esque, and everyone wanted to crowd surf and stage dive during Bouncing Composure. All the title fight fans and the Bouncing Composure fans that just got into the new album were like, nah, we're not going to catch anybody. So literally the entire time for Bouncing Composure, kids were just being dropped. Like they got on stage, ran up cement, and like it was insane. And like no one was learning this, and I was like, well, this isn't going to be good. So now we have all the kids that wanted to listen to the title fight and not want to get down. All the kids started title fight. All the kids started running up, jumping off. It was a beautiful time until this one kid got on, went to jump. Nobody wanted to catch him. They all pretty much just like, we've had enough of this, and no one caught him, and he hit the floor and had a seizure.
Damn.
And then they canceled the, not canceled the show. They had to stop the show for a little bit. I remember that I had to like push kids out of the way to like you know, make sure no one's gonna fall on them. And then then they were like, no more crowd, no
Stage
barricade
diving.
shows, so no more stage diving, and it was pretty raw. But I was like, fuck all that, because apparently when they were getting like all the ambulance and stuff out, I walked out for a cigarette, and I walked back in like just as they started playing. I forget what it was. It might have been Head in the Ceiling. Head in the Ceiling, yeah. And like it just like kicks in like and like I go into stage dive, and apparently I missed this right before they started the song. They're like, hey guys, let's just not stage dive anymore. So what's the one thing that the first person that jumps on stage, 6-foot black kid, just like throws themselves into the crowd right after the band said, hey guys, let's not do this anymore. my friend Nick was like, Ollie, what were you doing? I was like, having a good time. What about you? He was like, they
Nice.
said stop.
They're like, oh, I'm a dick.
Well, kind of, because like I was like Moses for all the pop punk kids, because everyone went back to stage diving after that anyway. So
Oh, okay.
I
Nice.
brought them back to the promised land. So
Cool.
anyway, so that's the reason why Union Transfer no longer has stage diving over at their shows. Be depressing. So, Matt,
Yeah.
you're sitting there looking pretty. Let's start asking you some questions.
Cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be our interview part of the show. We are going to ask you questions. I see a line here. It's gonna go Craig, James, and then myself. But for
Oh, I'm
all
first question?
intents, yes, you will be first question, babe. But
Okay.
we're gonna first ask Matt his position in the band. We're gonna ask that you also give like a brief description of the band as well. And then
Okay.
after Matt's done with that, we'll kick off with Craig's first question.
Cool. Well, I'm Matt. I play guitar and sing in a band called the Will Way. We're from Connecticut, and I guess the best synopsis of the band, we're kind of just like a alternative rock kind of crossed with a little bit of punk, crossed with a little bit of emo, crossed with a little bit of pop. And we sort of just, we're very, very influenced by classic rock bands, by 80s pop influence as well. And so the two of those things kind of come together with a little touch of modern influence and a little touch of 90s alternative influence, and it kind of turns into what it is. I guess that's the best way to actually put it on a paper. You kind of have to hear it to get it, but I think that's probably the best description.
Okay,
So like a
cool.
little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Now, do you think with that little bit of everything, does it make it into your original sound kind of thing? Is that what you think your original sound is?
I mean, that's what we think. We don't think we sound like anybody in particular. There's, you can definitely pick out an influence here and there, but largely we just kind of play what feels good. We're all about vibe. We're all about flow. We're all about the jam. So that's really everything to us, is making sure it feels good, and then we make sure it sounds good.
Well, that's good. I mean, you'd want a band to sound good, so.
Yeah, you try. It's part of it.
Alright, cool. Am I next, I think? Or is it Ollie?
Yeah.
All right,
James,
cool.
you're next.
Hi. You guys recently released your Bliss EP a few months ago now.
Yeah, in March.
So what was it recording and writing that really like?
It's an interesting story. I kind of like telling the story. It's sort of funny. We had a full length written, and we were gonna release it independently through this label our buddy set up.
Mayflower Collective?
No, not Mayflower. Sorry, my microphone's falling all over me. It's Quiet Fire Media. It's run by the drummer and lead singer of Head North, as well as Rachel Cooper, a photographer from down in Maryland. We had become really good friends with them through touring. They knew we were looking to put out a record. We wanted to do a full length, and we were going to go ahead and do it in we were going to go and record it in the winter of last year. But so we were going on a tour in November, October into the beginning of November, and then I was gonna be gone for a month, taking a vacation, and then we were gonna be coming back, recording the full length, then releasing it in the spring. While I was on that trip, I found out that we were only gonna be able to do an EP, and we scrapped absolutely everything. While I was on the trip, I got on the phone with Gary Chaffee, who produced the record. And I had to convince him to help us record a record that we hadn't written yet in like 4.5 weeks.
Wow.
Thankfully, we had some demos and some STEM ideas that we could send to him. He liked what he was hearing. He decided to get behind the project and kind of just took this leap of faith on us that we were going to write something that was worth his time. And so we got home, and we had 3 weeks to write the record, and then we were in the studio. And we wrote Bliss in 3 weeks, and we went into the studio, and then we recorded it with Gary. And that's what you got.
That's nuts. That's fantastic, but that's nuts.
It was great, yeah, it was cool.
Fantastic story. But
There had to be a
also
lot
very
of
frustrating.
pressure.
Just
No,
a tiny bit.
and that's the weird part. There should have been a lot of pressure. There should have been, I think we should have been a lot more stressed out than we were, but it was so, I don't know, it just kind of materialized in front of us, to be perfectly honest with you.
Like
We
it
just,
was just completely organic.
Yeah, it just happened. We would show up to practice. We practice in this factory late at night, so we can practice, all hours of the night. Doesn't matter what's going on. Nobody bothers us. So, we go up there, and we'll be there from like 10 p.m. until 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. Some nights just jamming and trying to come up with ideas, and not even, I guess the better way to say it is we're not trying to come up with ideas as much as we're feeling out these structures. And so, like, the way we like to write the songs, we talk about like building a room for the song to live inside of. And so you go and you create an atmosphere. You pick the key you want to play it in. You pick the effects that you want to play it with. You pick the guitar that you're going to play it on. You pick the amp settings. You figure out what your ambiance is and what your atmosphere is, and you toy with that in 6 or 7 different ways, and everybody tries different parts inside that room, and eventually it sort of comes together. And so I think we had gotten pretty good at that style of writing, just trying to make a full length, that like when we actually decided we were going to scrap everything, it was really easy for us to just sit down with some solid ideas and build rooms out of them and then build songs out of them.
That's such a cool analogy that like it makes sense, but I've never heard it put in that way.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a kind of just a less complicated way to think about the writing process, because it can get stressful, but you kind of just you figure out what you want to say, you figure out how you want to say it, and that's sort of the gist.
And now it sounds as if like that almost sounded bad. I was gonna say, oh, it sounds like you know what you're talking about. But like, how long have you like been musically involved with?
Musically involved. We've all been like doing music for a really long time. For the better parts of our lives. When I want to say like, when I was a kid, I loved singing and stuff, which is fine. That's I think everybody's got one of those little stories when they work in the music industry. You're a kid and you love music, and eventually somebody hands you a guitar and you start playing. But I think it was, I want to say, started playing the saxophone when I was like maybe 9 years old, and did school band and stuff. Played a lot of jazz music. Played a lot of different styles of music, and while I was doing that, my band members were sort of doing similar things where, like, they were sort of experimenting with different genres of music, and, we were all raised on classic rock music, and we were all sort of just fed classic vinyl as kids, and, shown rock documentaries and the whole thing, and so when we were seniors in high school, we didn't actually know each other very well. Some of us knew each other, some of us didn't. We got together, we started playing music. That was maybe almost 4.5 years ago at this point. And we were just doing it to play. We really just enjoyed the idea of playing in a band, and we had bands previously that didn't really pan out, but like, we thought that we got along with, this group better than most people, and we played together better than we had played with most other people. So we sort of ran with it, and we've been touring now for almost 3 years. We started out doing just East Coast, regional, Northeast. We did a little bit of Midwest. We did a little bit of Canada over time. We did the South over time. Now we're doing full US's, and I think things have stepped up in a much different way. We're making a career out of it at this point, and it wasn't something that we thought we were going to do. So
That's so cool to hear.
It's cool. It's
awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Now, what were some of the favorite bands you guys have toured with so far?
Of the bands that we've toured with, we toured with a lot of just, like, honestly, a lot of bands that have broken up by this point. And that's sort of a testament to, I don't want to say how long we've been doing it, because it hasn't been that long. Just
how
a
much
testament.
the scene has changed.
Yeah, to how much the scene has changed in the short time that we've been around. And it's really interesting because, like, we play with a lot of pop punk bands. We play with a lot of bands that, they try and do the carbon copy, flash in the pan sound, and nothing comes of it. But then all of a sudden we start playing shows and meeting up with and unintentionally sort of, I don't want to say touring, but sort of just catching up on the road with tons of different people. And I think this is something that, like, I don't want to say people don't have enough insight into, or they don't. I doubt people really care to have insight into it. But like smaller bands, there's not that many smaller bands doing it on a sort of like a touring level, and so we all sort of get to know each other whether we are touring together or not. We run into each other all the time. You know, we play frequently with Water Me Down from down in Maryland. Johnny Mays, he's an unbelievably talented acoustic artist who also does, you know, these crazy full band songs, and he's just one of the most talented people ever. We've never done a full tour with him, but, you know, we met him in Buffalo, we caught up with him in Maryland, we crashed with him in Virginia, we've hung out with him in Columbus. Where else did we recently see him? He was in I think he was back in Baltimore the last time that we saw him, and it's just one of those, we connect with a lot of different artists, and it's really interesting to sort of see how, like, I think we all connect on a level that's much closer than when you're just touring with a band as well, because again, you know, people offer you places to crash, you offer them places to crash when they're coming through, you help each other find shows, you help each other find shelter, you help each other find food and where to get your best bargains, and it's just you keep each other kind of safe and sane on the road. So it's a really cool thing. I mean, as far as our favorite bands that we've ever toured with, I can genuinely say that the tour that we just finished is probably one of our favorites. Head North, they're unbelievable people. They're really, really good friends of ours. And White Years turned out to be really, really, really very nice people as well. We didn't know what to expect going in. We had never met them. Turned out to be really great guys. We had a very cool time. It was cool, man. It was enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Light Years are wonderful guys. They're from the Cleveland area. They're one of our Cleveland bands. So.
Yeah, they're great. They're great dudes.
All right, so now that you guys have basically been around for a while, how would you say that your sound has progressed over, like, your past releases and everything?
Yeah, it's progressed kind of massively. This happens to all bands when they sort of pass from casual regional touring to sort of longer and more difficult touring. When you're going to be on the road for, you know, 28 to 35 days at a clip, it's a lot more difficult to hold down a job. It's a lot more difficult to hold down a social life, and a lot of times you figure out very quickly which of your band members are not really cut out for what you're doing. Yeah. And so, at 2 instances over the course of 3 years, we lost 2 members, both of which we're still very, very close friends with. They're still some of our best friends. They're constantly supportive and all around, and it's awesome. You know, like, I couldn't be happier with the way that that's actually worked out, because you never know what's going to happen there. Exactly. But you know, we lost 2 members, none of which was our bassist, and one of which, about a year and a half ago, was our lead guitarist, who was also the co-founder of the band. So our sound took a very, very massive spin, and I started playing the guitar. Prior to that, I was just singing. So about a year and a half ago, I started playing the guitar in the band, and that's when the sound, Colin and I, our guitarist Colin, write differently, very differently together than he and Ryan, our old guitarist, did. So it's just the Bliss sound that you hear, the sound that's on our most recent release, and the sound that's going to be on our releases going forward is really the sound that, you know, Colin and Sean and Johnny and I write together instrumentally, and that's why it's really kind of fundamentally different.
Now, within the you said 4 years, right? That you guys have been consistently together.
Yeah.
Those 4 years, how is it to see yourselves progress from, you know, doing weekend stints to now doing like a full US, from fine tuning an old style to finding a steady tone that works for you guys.
It's interesting. It's like I said, I can't honestly say I think we ever expected that things were gonna get to that point. We have always just tried to get better. We've always just tried to play music that we enjoy. And I think for years and years and years we were struggling to play music that we enjoyed because we were trying to play some other version of somebody else's music. Or not necessarily that, we tried to be creative, but at a certain point you have to kind of look at what you're doing and realize that, like, it's not as organic or as genuine as it maybe could be, and then when you sort of let something be as organic and genuine as it can be, sometimes it comes out cool. So we're proud of what we got with Bliss. We're really proud of, how much we've done, how many places we've seen, how many people seem to give a shit about what we're doing. It's really unbelievably awesome and totally overwhelming, but it's amazing to sort of look back and see that there were a lot of times when we were not going to continue playing music, or we were going to just get fed up and take our ball and go home, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if I could like go and talk to past me and just tell me to stop being like that, you know what I mean? And just sort of like go with it and just sort of have fun with it and play music for the reasons that people play music, which is supposed to be for enjoyment. Like that's
That's what I've heard.
yeah. No, I mean I wish that I could go back and tell myself that. That's definitely interesting.
Now, not to steal two questions, but I will. What was the most like, oh shit, this is like a thing moment for you, or for the band? If you can think back to like that moment where it's just like, shit, guys, this is real.
I mean, there have been some fairly recently that I definitely can't share just yet, but I will say that probably one of the moments that we realized that we were doing something legitimate, that other people were entertained by. On our first tour ever, we played all the way down to, I think it was Virginia, just northern Virginia. And we got down there and we played our set at this place called Empire, I think it is. Huge venue, like gigantic, way bigger than any place we should have been playing at the time. And the sound was phenomenal. And it had this, I remember the stage was like a gigantic, almost like a wrestling ring. And it was just like really, really, really cool. And I had a ton of fun playing on that stage. And more people than we thought were going to be there. There were probably 30 people at the show in this like 700 cat venue.
Oh my God.
Way more people than we expected to be there, but then 15 or 20 kids came up and they bought CDs and merchandise, and they asked us to sign them, and they asked our merch guy to sign their T-shirts. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and we, I think we were just like, wow, we just entertained somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were really excited about the fact that, like, we were pretty far from home, and nobody knew our music, but they were entertained by what we were doing, even though they weren't there to see us. And that was something that I think stuck with us. Because that's like when you're a small band, that's a huge part of what you're doing is like, we go out and we play sometimes for nobody. And you hope that the people who aren't there to see you will be entertained by you. Yeah. And that's really all you can hope for, is that you just make somebody smile, or you make somebody's day somewhat better, or you make the show that they got dragged to by the local act who they work with. You hope that you make their day better, and that's like a huge part of being a smaller band, is just sort of like finding the awesomeness in entertaining somebody, I think.
Yeah.
That's such an awesome answer. I love every second of it.
It is. Yeah. And dude, that sounds like a great thing to go to. I've heard good things about the Empire Club.
Yeah, it's
it
really
closed
cool.
down.
It did. I forgot.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It was cool.
that stinks.
It was cool. They were like the first decent-sized venue that ever treated us like human beings. It was awesome.
Good.
Ooh, well, there's some questions there. What kind of venues or promoters did you go in? Did you run into treated you badly?
Oh man, I mean, we've been around the ringer. We again, we've been doing the DIY punk rock thing for like years. We've played in every scuzzy venue that we could find. Played in every basement we could find. We avoided professional promoters for the longest time purely because we want, we've noticed with DIY shows, when you get 100 kids in a house, you have 100 kids who really want to be there playing music, or they really want to be there getting fucked up. And so, like, and if they happen to hear music, they might be more inclined to listen to it. And so, like, you've got those two different settings, but most house shows in most good scenes are 100 kids who just really want to be there. Most venue shows at a low level of touring are, again, you as the out-of-state headliner, playing 8 hours or 15 hours or 22 hours away from your house with 4 openers, the majority of which, are going to be bringing out either, because a lot of times they have ticket sale minimums. You've got ticket sales minimums, and this doesn't go for everywhere, but there are places specifically, and this does happen in Connecticut where we're from. So it was something that we sort of like avoided as a staple. But if you've got a ticket sale minimum as a venue, and you're getting 4 locals on the show, you've got a bunch of kids who are going to sell. They guarantee you 15 tickets, right? But they can only actually sell 6 of them, so they buy the rest themselves. Or they guarantee you 15 tickets, and they don't want to disappoint you or have you get mad at them and take them off the bill, and they're really young kids, so what they do is they get their parents and their grandparents and their aunts and uncles to buy tickets, and then they come out to the show, they see the kids play, and then they leave.
I've been there.
So we've experienced every kind of show, but it's cool because even at those types of shows, you get the 6 or 7 kids who stick around and are there just because they like music, you know what I mean? And so we sort of methodically avoided those types of venues over the course of time, and sort of instead of going in and working with promoters directly and asking them to find people who we can exploit for ticket sales, we sort of just talked to people, talked to friends of ours that knew of decent DIY spaces, talked to, promoter friends who might know someplace that we could play, even if it was for a very small sum of money or a substantially smaller sum of money, just to have a better show and just to have more people to potentially impress. Because, if you take a hit and you go and you're 5 dudes or 4 dudes who go and play a show for 40 or 50 bucks, and you play to 100 people, 10 of them might buy your merch. But if there's only 10 people at the show, that's not, your odds aren't great. So, yeah, I don't know. We've dealt with everything, man. We've dealt with bad promoters. We've dealt with amazing promoters. Some of our favorite people in the country are some of the just coolest, like, small little club promoters. It takes an awesome person to be a good promoter, and sometimes it takes a terrible person to be a good promoter. I don't think there's really a formula to it.
All right, so we were talking a bit about the music industry with, like, you guys being DIY and all. If there is one thing you could change about the music industry right now, what would that be?
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know enough about the music industry to tell you what to change about it, if we're being perfectly honest. Maybe if I had to pick one thing, I've noticed that, I don't know, this is a difficult problem. I don't know if it's something I would change. I'm not necessarily saying it's inherently negative, but I've noticed that there's a certain level of oversaturation in the market, in terms of small bands rushing to do really cool things. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that the internet sort of gives birth to bands, makes it so that there's, any 4 group of kids who want to pick up a set of instruments and start playing. That's what they should do. Like, everyone should pick up instruments and start playing and suck for a really, really long time. I think what causes problems sometimes are when kids who would otherwise be really talented if they had, stuck it out and played in their hometown venues and gotten better and worked really, really hard to sort of just get better and play in their home venues and become a super tight band. Instead of doing that, they sort of just decide to go tour because there are some promoters who will, answer an email and put you on a show and just let you lose money and just sort of let you play for nothing. And there are kids who would otherwise be doing crazy, awesome, amazing things with music who might get discouraged by the seemingly easy barrier for entry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I would think that would be the one thing I would change. Is just sort of I think a little bit more general transparency from smaller bands about what it's like to be a smaller band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the part that's really difficult to get through, and it's the part that we're still getting through. And you question yourself every day when you're playing music, because it takes a huge time investment. It takes a huge chunk of your life to do something that you're really, really committed to and trying to make a career out of, and that goes for absolutely anything you're trying to make a career out of. It's just wild that there seems to not be this huge level of transparency from smaller bands that hey, this is really tough. You know what I mean? Enjoy the time that you're playing in your local scene.
Yeah.
Don't take it for granted. Have a great time doing this while it's awesome, because it gets
Especially
really
when you're young, because exactly, it ends up getting really real at some point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Like where you're expected that you have to keep making good music and you can't stop.
Right. And the inherent problem, I think the biggest hurdle, is making good music in the first place. And I will say, as a person in a band who started out making really shitty music, it's wild how hard it is to see when you're a young kid trying to play music. It's really crazy to sort of look at what you're doing and go, yeah, this is really not good enough for me to be playing to 100 people. This is not really good enough for me to be playing to 150 people. And so there's this weird expectation management system that you sort of build into your brain as you learn. Am I okay at this? Am I entertaining people? Is this something that I should continue? You know what I mean? And that's not even being too hard on yourself by any stretch of the imagination. It's just sort of looking at the legitimate reactions you're getting and seeing if that makes sense for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure.
That really makes sense. I like that. So you started to talk about the progression at which kids should be able to do. How was your guys' progressions? When did you end up saying shit, we should take that leap and go on tour for full U.S. We should now go out of state. We should now start to the small. How did you guys build?
It was interesting. The Connecticut music scene, we were a part of it for the first 6 or 7 months that we were a band. It was very power poppy, a lot of hair pop bands, and now it's primarily metalcore and metal.
I was gonna ask, is glam rock still a thing?
I don't know. It's not really glam rocky, but it's interesting.
No.
There are some really, really cool bands doing it in the Connecticut music scene, but there's not a very cohesive scene, and there's not really any sort of a DIY scene. So small bands who are trying to get their start have a very difficult time doing so. Basically because there's no mentors to really tell them what to do, and there's no logical path that they should be taking. So
there's only 3 Connecticut bands that I even knew of. I knew there's you guys, Hostage Common, some band called Currents. I didn't even know there was
Currents is a hardcore band, and then you've got Sorority Noise, which is also from Connecticut. And it's just sort of but none of us really live anywhere near each other. We're not part of the same scene. We didn't really come up listening to Hostage Calm or anything. It's not one of those New Jersey music scene things where kids just fall in love with the local band. It's a really interesting. And Buffalo is kind of like that too, where kids will fall in love with the local bands, and you'll be able to consistently draw 200 or 300 kids to a certain location to see you guys play. It's not really how Connecticut is very often. It can be. We've thrown some DIY shows that have done 300 or so heads in parking lots, and it's been pretty cool here in Naugatuck. But it's not so much like that. So when we decided that we wanted to keep playing music for more people, we just realized that we couldn't keep playing at the venue down the street. We had no choice. We had to leave the state. There were no other venues for us to play in for bands of our caliber. We started booking in houses in Massachusetts and New Jersey and New York, and we just started meeting people and playing shows with people. And for the longest time, we couldn't get booked fucking anywhere. We were sending, 30 emails a day, 100 emails a day just to try and get people to pay attention. And at some point, we got rid of this EP that we were using. We wrote a full length as the band that we were with our old guitarist. Put that out. We just sort of left the state because we were able to sort of attach this thing to our emails, and it was identifiably better than what we had put out before. So, when people were hearing our name for the second time around, you don't realize it, but that first time around, even though it was a total waste of your time, was kind of valuable because it just puts your name in somebody's head, and then when they hear it the second time around, they're like, oh, these kids have improved a little bit, you know what I mean? So they're like, yeah, all right, cool, we'll let you guys play here, it sounds kind of interesting, or we made a friend of a friend when we were playing at a house somewhere in New Jersey or playing at a house somewhere in Massachusetts, and he knows a guy who's a promoter and might, help us out sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you just started doing that, and eventually you just meet people, and then eventually people just kind of remember you, and then it's not so much to ask when you need a show, or it's not, we hooked up with the Mayflower Collective, and that's what that's all about. It's just helping smaller bands network and helping smaller bands figure out what the fuck you're doing, because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. That's the truth, you know what I mean? You've got a bunch of people who have no clue what they're doing. You kind of put them together, and eventually... it takes 6 people to figure out how to screw in a light bulb,
Yeah.
Or 6 groups of people to figure out how to screw in a light bulb, and that's the interesting part of it. And then you just kind of keep trying to help each other with your connections as you go. You form friendships, you figure out how to sort of, help out the bands that you believe in. Yeah.
And I love Mayflower Collective. There's just so many cool bands on that.
It's wild.
North Runner are some dudes. Head North, obviously. Crosstown Train, On Your Marks. It's really cool to see so many cool bands help out each other and try to do shit. I don't know. I love those dudes.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're my fucking family. Truly, that's how we kind of see it, man. It's just a gigantic family. We've been doing it together for a long time, so it's cool stuff.
For sure. Alright, Craig, I think, is up.
Craig, yeah, Craig.
Oh, my question. Oh boy, how do I come up from that? How do I get off from that? Wow, you've been giving some great answers to all these questions.
Thanks.
Have you ever heard of Callaway from Connecticut? Are they a part of that scene? I'm not a part of it, so I don't know.
I
don't know. Somebody's gonna be mad at me. I don't know.
I think they're easy, James. Am I wrong?
No, they're
They're
just
pop punk.
straight up pop punk.
Are they a
They're
newer, a younger?
Yeah, they're
pop
newer.
band?
They're newer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I was just
We
curious.
haven't been in Connecticut much over the last few years.
Yeah. Now, also, another thing with the pay-to-play and the ticket minimums and everything, have you noticed that there's a trend of ticket minimum places in certain areas of the country? Because, I know in Cleveland, there's nothing. There's, practically no pay-to-play shows.
Yeah, it really does. It depends. And I will genuinely say I think this is absolutely ridiculous and a little bit asinine, but I think it takes a scene to overthrow the promoters in the area. I think you have to stage a fucking coup. Because, these people will just continue to sort of exploit smaller bands for profit, and it does a lot in terms of lining their pockets, and sometimes it can be beneficial to the scene because you're showing new bands a good time, and they're going and they are getting exposure. But I will say that the biggest problem with it is that they don't invest in bands. They don't see the value in investing in bands on the long term. So sort of they'll take your money and they'll let you play a show, but they're not really interested in helping you book your independent date that you're willing, you're hoping to put together to help out your buddies who are touring up the coast, and you know that you can get kids to the show. It doesn't really matter because they didn't put it together. You know what I mean? So a lot of that takes place, and so a lot of times you see some of those better, smaller tours going to DIY house venues or DIY VFWs or DIY basements, and it's like, you know, they'll just sort of throw a better show in somebody's basement, and it only costs you $5. It's not going to cost you 12. You show up. You know, half the time they let you, you know, drink or smoke to your heart's content in the house if that's something you want to do, which you can't do at a venue. So there is a certain amount of, like, punk rock freedom restriction that happens at normal venues on a smaller scale. You know what I mean? Like, when there's small venues and it's a small tour, and, like, a security guard can do a quick sweep and see, like, all 12 of you in the room, like, you feel like you're kind of being watched. Like, you feel a little uncomfortable, you feel a little bit inhibited. You're crammed in a small house, you got a bunch of people around, they're all enjoying the music, everybody's having a good time, and that's sort of like how rock music connects with people, I think. So, like, I will say that, like, it is interesting. I think that every scene has seen it at some point. I think that every place has a certain, you know, some length of time of a history with pay-to-play stuff. I think it takes the scene and the strength of the bands and the strength of the DIY side of the scene to sort of push that in a different direction, you know? And that can take years. That can take a really, really long time. And I could be just totally spewing shit. I don't actually know if that's true.
Well, I mean, you were talking about building a queue. I think that's what Bravo Artists in Cleveland did. Because, like, Guerrilla Music, have you ever heard of Guerrilla Music and how shitty they are? Their headquarters is in Cleveland, Ohio. So, I think what Bravo Artists did, they did that. They actually staged a queue and they took over some of the venues, like the Grog Shop and the halls and places like that, and that's how they did it.
For sure.
So, I mean, like, if Bravo Artists can do it for Cleveland and take out pay-to-play, then why can't any other scene do that, you know? I think Cleveland could be a perfect example.
Absolutely. And you just, I don't know, you need enough people who are willing. You need enough people who give enough of a shit. And that's a really difficult thing to find, especially if you're in Connecticut, is people giving a shit about anything. Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing.
And it's odd for people like to realize that it really ends up becoming beneficial to have like you know, a more community-based thing. It's like you have either you know, someone that's out for their own pockets or someone that's out for their community.
Right. Yeah. It's a total communist thing. Yeah, we're all communists. It's alright.
Yeah. Alright, so
James, this will be the last one before we go into this showcase.
Alright, so I guess to end this on a lighter note, do
you
have like any crazy tour stories or memorable moments from a show or on the road or anything?
Okay, well, like, one of my most memorable crazy tour stories, we were one time driving up we were doing an all-nighter from North Carolina back up to Connecticut. We had just wrapped up a tour, and I think, no, I lied to you on the setting of this. This was in Georgia. We were still coming up from Florida, and we were in Georgia. We were at a gas station, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So like we found out we were gonna run out of gas, because, you know, it's dark and it's late and we're tired and we're stupid because it's like only the second tour we've ever done and we don't check the fucking gas gauge enough. And you know, we're driving down the highway in the middle of a bunch of fucking cornfields in Georgia, and we realize the gas is running out. We get off the highway, we drive through a bunch of cornfields, and we like see on the corner this like horror movie house, like this horror movie shack and house with like the swing in the front fucking creaking, and like it was so creepy. Tractor, like a broken down tractor in the front yard. And so like so that was terrifying, and we're like freaking out because we're almost out of gas and there's no lights, and like all you can see is like this creepy house in the moonlight. But like we keep on keeping on down the road, and we find this creepy ass gas station. And the gas pumps are like all like crappy and like rusty and totally not functioning. Like, you know, maybe one or two of them had a light on, but it was too late at this point to like get any gas. And but we see next to one of the gas pumps this mid-sized sedan. It's like maybe like a silver Honda, like a 90s Honda. It's just like sitting there, and it's filled with cats. the whole thing is filled with cats. Like, it's filled. There's cats on the hood. There's cats on the roof. There's cats on the back. There's cats in the
Damn.
windows.
Oh no.
There's cats like there's just
This
a
doesn't.
ton.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. The story's not over
Yeah.
because okay.
Oh no.
So
yeah.
there's cats, and like they're in this like garbagey, trashy silver Honda, and we look behind the gas station, the actual like station itself, and there's this dude, this naked dude, shitting in a bucket behind the gas
God.
station.
Oh my god.
And that was, we booked it. We managed to find gas slightly further down the road. Thankfully, we managed to. It was, to this day, it was one of the craziest and weirdest things I've ever seen.
Now
I have
you
no
know-
idea what was happening.
Bizarre.
Now you know this. If this was a horror movie, they would probably go up to the dude, and then it would just be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Hey
No,
man,
totally.
do you think we could
Totally.
get some gas?
oh god.
Yeah, dude, we were. You know what? We experienced the beginning of a horror movie on this tour with Head North. We were crashing in an old shitty Motel 6. I don't remember where this. It might have been in Kansas. Might have been in Kansas.
I love these states.
Dude, we're in. We check in. It's like we're sneaking 10 people into a Motel 6 bedroom. Like, it's a 2-person Motel 6 room. We're sneaking 10 people into it. We're splitting the cost with Head North. We're sleeping in this motel, and it smells like everything is wet. Everything's damp, and it smells like shit. Like, it literally smells like somebody's shit on the floor. And so like we request another room, and we go, and it's a conjoined motel room, you know, like there's one motel room, and then they've got the door that leads to the other one. And like we look in the other window, and there's nothing in there. There's no furniture in there. There's nothing in there. Like, there's no people, there's no beds. Like, we just checked to see if like we were gonna be noisy and disturb somebody, but there was nobody in there. And Boone from Head North started trying to get into the other room through the door. This is the beginning of a horror movie. It's not what you do.
It really was.
Yeah, it's not.
You've just been going on horror tours this entire time.
Yeah. So a lot of strange stuff happens.
I feel like Tor is just a giant horror story.
It's not like it's yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not like a horror story. It's just like the weirdest compilation of just strange things. Everybody thinks you're homeless, which is fine.
My friend was doing merch for a band called The Alaskan recently, and I just saw a Facebook post from him today. It's like, hey, remember that one time I was on tour and I saw like a lady take her pants off and then steal the prosthetic leg off of another lady and try to joust her with it?
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's one for the record books. Yeah, no, I mean, that's...
And apparently that wasn't the craziest thing that happens on that tour, and he's going to tell me when I get back to school.
Yeah. No, I mean, you gotta figure that, like, statistically speaking, crazy things happen all the time, everywhere, and, like, you just have to be there for them, and so if, like, you're just in a bunch of places, weird shit just happens sometimes, you know what I mean?
So
like, if you're just in a...
mathematically speaking, you're
more likely to be there for the weird stuff, you know?
Like an old man shitting in a bucket.
That's my theory anyway. I'm gonna take the old man shitting in a bucket as a statistical gift.
That's a statistical gift. That's fantastic.
Put that in my memoir, and there you go.
when you
I
write
don't
it.
know. Yeah, it's
Dude, that's
Well,
awesome.
we're gonna start to wrap up. We're gonna actually play a song, and the song that we picked, not we. Matt has picked Cheap Wine. Now, Matt, do you want to give an intro to the song before we showcase this magnificent song from Bliss?
You want me to give an intro? Like, you want me to explain it, or do you want me to like just like intro it?
Give an explanation. Yeah, talk a little shit on it.
All right. Cheap Wine. Cheap Wine is a really cool song. It's gonna be your new favorite song, but it's primarily about the feelings of guilt. You know, just across the board. It's the feeling of sort of realizing that you're having a negative impact on other people by just doing what you're doing and doing what's best for you, and that collateral damage is sort of a natural part of existing. And there's really no way to avoid it, so you just kind of have to like do your best to sort of swallow it, and that's it. That's Cheap Wine. I hope you enjoy it.
down in the corner where the weight can leave my breath. One way or another, I'm determined to forget. Hesitation and lights at use keep her standing right in place. And it hurts like hell when I can see that in her eyes. I can read it on her face. Make way for another desperate, lonely heart to come ashore, when he asks for more. Imitation cold medicine, weak to fuck the human race. And it hurts like hell when I can see that in her eyes. I can read it on her face. You let me test your patience. You let me overstay. You watch me take my virtues and throw them all away. And you were there when I met you, tucked in your tales of woe, without that sense of purpose they left you long ago.
That was fantastic.
I love
Thanks,
this thing.
man.
I love a little way a lot.
You guys, that was awesome, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We enjoy it. I like it. It's cool.
Sweet.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
It's no problem, man.
Dude, it's nice meeting you.
You
I
too.
feel like Ollie is trying to speak.
Yeah, I think
I
he
am
is. I can
sadly
see
not
him.
good at lip reading.
Use your
but
words.
I am going to do something really quick. But in the meantime, so while we're waiting for Ollie to kind of figure out his stuff, what is next for Will Away?
What's next for a Will Away? A lot of stuff. Keep an eye on our social media. I can't tell you everything that we have coming up, but we're going to be doing a lot more touring. We are going to be doing a lot more music. We're going to be putting out a new record at some point in the near future, and there's just, I mean, we're not slowing down. We're just kind of full steam ahead, man. So things are going to be cool.
Awesome. I think everyone here is very excited to see what you guys have in store for
Oh,
the
hell
future.
yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. And
I will
now,
definitely be checking back.
and now we're just waiting for Ollie to finish us off and give us the perfect send off.
Anything crazy happening on the DPPG?
No.
Any
No.
top stories? Nicotino doing something stupid?
No.
Does he know we can't hear him?
We can't hear you!
Yeah. Alright, so
Dude, this
we're
is
going
a
to end.
fantastic photo with Nick of
Alright, so I think we're going to wrap it up here, and I am going to figure out how to end this. But seriously, thank you guys so much for watching tonight.
Thank you.
And no problem.
Awesome.
And